This episode of Auto Dealer Live is brought to you by TrueCar.
Turn on that radio and back here. The cops ain't likely to catch up with us, not tonight. So we can all be quiet and peaceable and listen to the music.
Hey, Guten Tag, as they say in Finland. That thing still looks crooked. Am I wrong?
Is crooked. Are we crooked?
We're good.
Crooked Hillary.
We're live.
No, it's not crooked there.
We're live.
I know we're live.
Okay.
What's up, Mike?
You think we're talking?
I didn't know. I thought it was
Hey,
cool.
Mike.
I thought everybody was eating
Hey,
chips.
while we're talking, check and see if we're crooked.
I think something's crooked. I'm looking at that one. That looks crooked now.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. It could just be my eyes, but we are live. It's Thursday, 3:30, and we're here for the Women Who Rock Auto Show.
Yes. I've been waiting for this one
Have you,
all day long.
son? Something is crooked. All right, and when we go to commercial break, we'll fix it so we don't have to keep saying it. But anyway,
In the interim, because Dave's OCD is gonna take over, I'm gonna
either
fill
that
in.
or I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? So like you guys can
We're
see
like,
me.
hey, what's that? Hey, all right. I think it's this side. So we'd like you to hashtag. We'd also like if you guys, where's the Lou? You know the number? What's the number for call-ins?
It's 813
Go ahead.
574
You
1820.
should know that.
813 574 1820.
And who we'd like to welcome is mainly women, but men can get involved too, but mainly women who are doing the deal in the automotive business, because that's what today's show is solely focused on. And I couldn't be more excited about it. I tell you what,
I actually challenged some men to call in because I'd like to see. I mean, the thing is actually, it's moving beyond, man. It's moving beyond. So, in all honesty, it's moving beyond women in auto and like, hey, get used to it. Come on, it's there.
Right.
What it is talking about excellence, women who are freaking lighting it up in the auto business, and so I'd like to hear stories. I'd like to hear dealers, female dealers, male dealers, call us and tell us how women that work in your dealership are just slaying it. Give us some case studies. Call in. Let's make it about that. If you're at a store, you run a store, you're at a store where somebody tweeted us right before the show, and I think it was Jen K. She's part of the Reeves Imports.
Local,
They have like Land Rover and Audi and Porsche and BMW, and I mean they're a freaking huge group here. And she tweeted out and said, "Hey, check this person out." It was somebody that works there. I'd love to hear that story. I'd like to hear 813-574-1820. Tell us what you're doing to rock automotive.
That's a good idea, Dave.
Yeah, man.
Good job. And also, if you can't pick up the phone because maybe you're working, but you can jump on social media, hit us up hashtag Auto Dealer Live, and we'll see. I'm always on it because that's one of the things they say I do. I'm on my phone a lot during the show. Well, it's because it's because there's all kinds of good content I don't want to miss out on. You guys are tweeting quality content. I want to make sure I share it on the show, because I don't have my own original content, so I got to take somebody else's. Hey, Kevin Campbell, what's up, Slappy? How you doing, buddy? That was something that just came through. It was a tweet just came
That was
through.
like,
What's up?
it's funny. The reason we say you do that is
Yes.
because you do this. Like the majority of the time, you're to the top of
Because
your
I have
head.
to look at my face otherwise. I don't want to see my face the whole hour of the show. It's ridiculous.
What's up, Kevin Fry?
Kevin Fry has a funny tweet
Arnold
last week.
Terrarina.
Arnold, what's up? Hey, Arnold. Who else? Who else? is
Hey,
on
Arnold.
today?
Every time you say that,
That's why I said, hey, Arnold.
Hey.
We got
Hey, Arnold.
Alexandria Howard. What's going on? Phone Ninjas. What's up with who Who else we got on there? Alan Ram. It's almost time for Ram on Fire.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to miss Ram on Fire today. Ram on Fire.
Next up, what up? Next up, Chelsea Cross. Sorry. Chelsea Cross is in the house, too.
Absolutely. So we're excited about today's show. We're going to cut our monologue here a little short, Tommy.
You're welcome.
And it's going to be a couple of minutes. We're going to jump to commercial break in about 60 seconds. What's that? Say what, Mike?
Next up's first, right?
Yeah.
We're
We're going to do that before commercial break.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, you have that. Well, it's after commercial break on here, Mike.
That's true. It is.
I was
Greater
right.
than, lesser than.
There was something I watched when I was a kid. There was
Here's the
something I
thing.
watched.
I verified the schedule with Josh.
Okay,
He
so
told me exactly what I told you.
commercial though is first, correct?
No, right? We're doing.
It says
We're doing-
commercial, man. We're wasting valuable time here.
Which one's first?
We're doing women auto giveaway first.
Right now.
Yes.
Okay,
So what are we
let's-
doing?
let's-
We're bringing. Okay. Thanks a
We're
lot,
all
Josh.
over this. We're all over
hey,
this.
thanks a freaking lot. You know what? I'm going to replace Josh with a woman who rocks.
Who rocks automotive.
Because they don't mess crap up.
Because they're not crappy like
They
you,
don't
Josh.
mess.
I love you, but
you know
you're
what?
crapping it up.
Men,
buddy.
I got something. How about this? Men who suck auto. men who jack stuff up and need women to help them and fix it.
Hey, that's
And show
me.
'em how to do it.
I'm gonna raise my hand on that one. All
Me
right.
too, brother.
I know.
um,
All right.
All right, before we go to our the giveaway here, something you know what? I lost my whole freaking train of thought. But I'll tell you,
Why don't we
this
just go to the
it's going to be a
giveaway?
good show, huh?
It's gonna be a good show.
That I know.
My blood.
That I don't
my
have.
blood
That
pressure's
doesn't take
down.
organization to figure out.
My
It's going
blood
to be a good
sugar's
show.
down. This is gonna be a good one.
That's because you're not eating sugar.
I know.
That's because you're eating this aspartame crap.
It doesn't have aspartame. This is
Aspartame.
Xyloburst.
Aspartame
It actually
causes
has
people to
xylitol,
crack.
which is good for you. It's good
You know
for
that
dental
aspartame
care.
has been proven to
This
cause
doesn't have
pilots
the-
to crash into mountains. It does. Like literally.
Whatever.
That's
I'm not-
why.
this isn't aspartame. I agree with you. It makes me crash in the mountains too
What
sometimes.
Xyloburst.
Xylitol is a natural sweetener that is actually good for dental hygiene. Yes, Subi, it is. I see your hands. I know what you're doing. It is.
All right.
Why don't we introduce Subi since she's already
All right.
already.
So here we go. We're going to
confused.
figure this thing out. All right.
Josh, we're doing it now, right?
People are coming in from this.
It wasn't my fault, everybody. I made this abundantly clear today.
No.
Subi, don't be mad at me.
What's abundantly clear is the order of schedule, which is wrong.
That
Says
blue
perfect.
bar
Sorry.
is above
Listen,
that.
man. That's why
Maybe he
we're-
didn't do that. Maybe this was somebody else's deal.
That's why we're
I love
flexible,
you
though.
guys. I'm sorry. Great show. I'm out.
All right, here we go.
Love you, Josh. Bye.
So, without further ado, hey, the Next Up right now. Speaking of the Next Up, we have the CEO of the Next Up and the Executive Vice President of Dealer Authority, and they're here. They're joining us prior to our amazing panel and group of women who rock auto. And Clint Burns and Subi Ghost, thank you guys for joining us. And you got some pretty exciting news.
Yeah, great. I don't know if you want to start, Susie, or if you want me to kind of go right into it.
Honestly, I'm just really excited that Next Up came up with this idea last year, and when they were trying to figure out what to do this year, they kind of one-upped it. So, do you want to talk about it? I can.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, no, definitely. I mean, we're definitely proud to be a sponsor of Women in Automotive, and excited about attending this year. Women have been and are the driving factors in the purchase process, and yet there's this major imbalance when it comes to women in automotive, and there shouldn't be. We as an industry need to shine the spotlight on women in automotive and the opportunities that are available to them. So therefore, we've created a contest to spotlight women in automotive. And our contest is very simple. We want women to share, or anybody to share actually for that matter, their story of women in automotive and what it means to them. They could tell their story or someone else that has inspired them. They also can share a story on behalf of somebody else. The winner's going to receive registration to Women in Automotive Conference, hotel accommodations, and airfare completely on Next Up.
Wow.
We're also going to have registration for Women in Automotive for the runner-up as well. So it's really simple for them to win.
Well, let me ask you this, Clint. So you're saying, okay, so and I agree with you. In my experience, when it comes to women in the auto business, has just I think been behind the times in it. And I don't want this to sound stereotypical, but I mean the fact of the matter is when you want to fix something and you want to fix, I think, an industry, one of the things you can do is put good people in it. And there's a lot of really strong women that are leading in the auto industry, and we all know that. And we're going to see many of those women at the end of this month. So you're saying, Clint, that the Next Up is sponsoring and basically all expenses for the best story, case study, as it will, right? Of hey, sharing your experience. Is that a fair way to say it?
Definitely sharing their experience, or even someone else's. They can even do it on behalf of somebody else if they want to.
Wow, Subi, this is cool.
This whole notion of just saying the way that they presented it, I think, was really awesome. We shared it on our Women in Automotive Facebook page. Just tell us what women in automotive means to you. And there are so many up and comers. When I started, I wasn't allowed to go to any conferences or anything like that unless I paid for it myself. And sometimes you just can't afford to, even if you want to invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. So this is a really awesome opportunity for people that maybe have asked and have been kind of turned away. Go tell your story. Tell them why you want to attend, and you could be there for nothing at all other than your drive and commitment to be there.
This is brilliant, Clint, too. I mean, and I understand your heart to do this, but really it's brilliant because Subi just hit on it. I don't know if she realized it or not, but she said, I've always wanted to invest in my future. Sometimes maybe didn't have the funds to do so, but at the same time, I don't think that many people in this world that are really trying to make it, male or female, really want a handout per se. So this is a way for somebody to really contribute by telling their story. So there is skin in the game. There is, hey, this is what we want you to do. This isn't just giving a trip away. This is tell us your story. And I think that the studies show, maybe Clint, you're a statistic person, but the studies show that women will love to tell a story online. They'll go and they will blog, they will write, and so I think you're going to get a lot of feedback from this.
Yes, I mean, we've already received a bunch of submissions already and some really inspiring stories that have been phenomenal. So we're really excited to be able to share. We've actually got an opportunity where people can either agree to share or not. So it's been phenomenal.
Very
and
cool.
It's easy because, I mean, obviously all they have to do is simply go to nextup.com and then /WIA for Women in Auto and submit their story.
So we'll get that up on the screen too. So the nextup.com /WIA, and all the information is right there. And they can either submit for themselves or a friend. This would be a great opportunity, as I said right before the show, and I'm sure Jen's listening. She's with Reeves Automotive here in Tampa, and I buy all my cars there. I met her, I think at Digital Dealer. I think she was at your last Women in Automotive, and she tweeted out before the show one of her coworkers and said, hey, check her out. And there's a picture of what this girl's doing there. So this would be a great opportunity for somebody to maybe toot someone else's horn, so to speak, and put someone else in the limelight that may not put themselves there. So if you know somebody that's really, really killing it in automotive, and if you know a woman that's leading the way, I would say this is a great opportunity to nominate them, so to speak.
Yeah, and David, if I could add, we want the contest to run until the 15th of June, and then if possible, if you guys wouldn't mind, we'd like to announce the winner on Auto Dealer Live on the 16th Thursday of the show.
Absolutely.
If that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. I can't wait. Well, I'm very, very excited, obviously, to be there, see you guys, see friends, and participate. This is just amazing. So we're looking forward to a great show, and that's awesome, Clint, what you guys are doing.
And one more thing, I saw you and Diana are going to be doing a workshop.
Yeah, I'm very excited. She's already warned me. Subi warned me, and then Diana warned me, just to be quiet. I'm basically going to be listening. I'm going to be standing up there and basically holding her books and purse and whatever else she decides to bring. She's going to bring it. So.
Yeah, great. It's on culture too, right? We obviously one of the main things that we need to do in our industry is change the culture and the environment that we have.
That's for sure, man. Amen to that. Well, I'm excited to see you guys, and excited to see who. I'm sure it's going to be a very hard choice. So I'm excited to see who has the most compelling story and wins this.
Well, just if I could remind everyone, please submit. It's definitely going to be a great event, and then we're also doing something also even for next year. So that's going to be another announcement later on.
Very cool. Well, nice. Subi, we'll see you here in just a few minutes, and Clint, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in a couple weeks, and that is the nextup.com /WIA, the nextup.com /WIA for Women in Automotive. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you.
That was cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Clint. See you guys.
All right. So that's going to be good, man. That's awesome. Well said, Chew. All right, so we're going to be back in just a couple of minutes, and the next up is going to be the Women Who Rock Auto panel. There's some amazing guests on the show today talking about women in automotive. The conference also going to be talking about really women who are leading the way. We've got a tremendous lineup. You don't want to go anywhere, Tommy. I know you're not going anywhere.
I'm obligated to be here, so awesome.
All right, so if Tommy doesn't crash into a mountain before we get back with his aspartame, then he'll be here.
Luckily, we're right at sea level here in Florida.
That's right.
No crashing.
No mountains. Amen. We'll be right back.
With rising competition and shrinking profit margins, you need every resource available to help you succeed. TrueCar has the ability to be the most powerful tool in your arsenal.
Go with the pros who know. Your dealership wouldn't trust its vehicles in the hands of an uncertified technician. So why trust its finances with accounting firms that don't know your business? Rosenfield & Company knows the automotive industry and has been serving dealerships like yours for over 20 years. We take pride in helping our clients grow from single-point stores to some of the largest dealer groups in the country. We are more than just your accountants. Our team can guide you through mergers and acquisitions, operational reviews, succession planning, and more. Visit us on the web for more information at www.rosenfieldandco.com.
Jason Rice from Lot Pop, and let me tell you what we do to help dealerships increase used car sales 20 to 30% in gross in volume. 3 areas we focus on: trend reports. We look at weekly trends that no one else is trending to make adjustments on our inventory. 2 is we do weekly review calls to review those trends, but also we dig through every car that needs to be price adjusted to increase the searches. And 3, we do a virtual lot walk, make sure every car is standing tall in line, and make sure we don't have bad photos like these. Check out our website, lotpop.com. our blog at automotiverevolution.com, and our weekly video tips at increaseturn.com. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Alan Ram, president and founder of Alan Ram's Proactive Training Solutions. Let's face it, good managers are defined not by what they do when they have a showroom full of customers, but more by what they do when there are no customers in the showroom. In 2015, whether you like it or not, the car business is all about conversion of opportunities and driving traffic. All those great closers and desk people are not doing you a whole lot of good if your dealership is not converting effectively on the telephone and internet. As an owner or dealer, when you see 5 salespeople standing by the front door doing nothing, don't kid yourself. Your dealership is not being effectively managed. Management by Fire is a 2.5-day intensive course conducted entirely by me that teaches managers how to effectively manage in today's automotive industry. Simple processes for driving high-quality traffic. For more information on upcoming events, please call my team at 866-996-4665. Once again, 866-996-4665. Thank you.
Service Group has over 40 years of experience empowering dealerships to grow profits, develop personnel, and provide their customers with a high level of service. We offer high-quality products, world-class servicing, and innovative training and technology. Meet our team: first-class trainers, the best account managers, and an executive team that's second to none.
This is your Service Group team. We look forward to giving your people the power to perform.
I'm excited about the future of TrueCar, and I hope you are too. As we evolve our product and service, we'll keep listening to dealers and making even more enhancements based on your ongoing feedback.
I was covering your mic, man, because you were hot. Not you. Your mic.
It's hot.
All right, we're back.
Hello, good to see you back here. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you.
That was a good first segment though. The announcement, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it technically wasn't a segment. We just turned. We
Oh,
can't do.
did I say a segment?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
But
sorry.
I'm saying, but we can't do. We can't do anything short. What? We
Right.
can't. I mean,
Righto.
I mean, it's
Yep.
So,
I hear you.
Mike, just let us know when we're on the up and up. I know some are already Skyped in. I see them. So we're gonna just talk here for a second. Hey, if you've got some questions, we want to challenge you to throw them out there into social media. If you're on Facebook, give us some replies. We're on Facebook Live. We're on Autotainment Network, AutoDealerLive.net. Also, you can get this show on iTunes after and Stitcher. If you have questions, if you have comments, maybe you want to bring up some results, some case studies. Maybe you want to weigh in. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think this is something you want to challenge. Then we challenge you. Hashtag AutoDealerLive. Get on Twitter. Get on Facebook. Make yourself heard. And if you have a question, call in. We have callers. Typically, a lot of times at the wrong time, but this would be a right time to call in. 813-574-1820.
And I guess,
what's that? All right.
I'll say, I guess the best idea would be if you had a specific question for people that are going to be on the panel today. That probably makes the most sense for time's sake. But yeah, so definitely hit us up, 813-574-1820. And also, again, hashtag AutoDealerLive.
All right, without further ado, some are going to be Skyped in, some will not, some will be audio only. We have on the panel today, the next up is the Women Who Rock Auto panel. We have Christy Roman, founder of Women in Automotive and president of Now Digital. We have Jody DeVere, board member of Women in Automotive and president of Ask Patty. We have Subi Ghosh, who we had on previous with Clint Burns. She is the board member as well of Women in Automotive and executive vice president of Dealer Authority. Joni Stuker, board member of Women in Automotive and president of Owner Connect. Lisa Copeland. Lisa is a regular contributor of the show and formerly a managing partner of Fiat and Alfa Romeo of Austin. And now she heads up the automotive retail strategies, a partner of the Culture Works, the largest culture company, mind you, in the world. And Amy Banner, sales and leasing consultant at Corin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Amy, by the way, last year was one of the 40 under 40 elected by Automotive News. So an incredible group of women, and they are all passionate about the auto industry, and they're getting it done everywhere. So, ladies, thank you for joining us today, and this is a great time. Great time. June is upon us, and I'm sure you guys are excited, but I'm probably feeling a little bit of the pressure as things are beginning to come to fruition. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Just a little.
Hey, I admire the fact that you guys are obviously all full-time automotive professionals and all over the place, but yet this is probably nothing short than another full-time job. But you're doing this because you're passionate, and it's so evident. And so I want to thank you guys for being with us. And I want to kind of jump in to start with Christy Roman, who founder of Women in Automotive. And anytime somebody is crazy enough to find something we that are business owners, we say found something, but a lot of times what that means is work, and it means effort. And Christy, what drove you? You're an automotive professional. You've been in this industry for a while. What drove you to take action to start this group? I think it's an appropriate question to kick off the panel with.
Oh, well, actually Jody DeVere took me to an event in Chicago called Marketing to Women some years ago, and I was struck by the fact that we don't have anything really like that I was aware of in this industry. And so we started talking about it. I started talking about it with Jody and then Subi, and it just kind of seemed like let's see if we can make something happen. So that's really kind of how it came to be. It wasn't like a big brainchild that only I had. I couldn't have done it without these ladies. They made it feasible, I would say. They made it seem like this isn't the dumbest thing I've ever thought of. And I've thought of some dumb things.
Hey, I'm with you on that. That's just a person thing, because I was going to say, I almost stepped in it. I'll be honest with you, for two reasons. A, I was going to bring up like that's a man thing, but then here's how that would have backfired on me. You guys would have said, you're right, it is a man thing, because we usually mess stuff up. And I'm just being honest as a man. But go ahead, Tommy, how you doing?
I feel like I might step in it a few times today too. I'm going to try to talk.
He has a 15 shoe, by the way. So if he steps in,
it's a mess.
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
A mess.
Just Christy, real quick, kind of piggybacking off of that. When you're talking about how you started it, what trends in the industry kind of provoked you to say, hey, we need something like this now? How did that come about?
Well, I work with a lot of dealers, and one of the complaints they have is that they don't have anybody to hire. They can't hire anybody. There's no bench. There's no people applying for jobs at car dealerships. So it was a combination of that, seeing a need within the community where they really have to figure out how they can make cultural changes that will allow them to continue to attract and retain good employees, not just warm bodies, but actual good employees. And then also just an opportunity for us to create an environment where we could learn from each other, network, share stories, be inspired. I mean, there's lots of conferences where you can go and be inspired on lots of different topics, but the opportunity as a female to be able to go and hear other female stories in this industry. It's a tough industry I don't care which side of it you're on, it's really difficult for women to work in this industry. At least it has been for me. So it's incredibly empowering, and it feels like by having that community, it actually gives the women more courage to be able to apply for different jobs and to embrace the difficulties in the industry as just sort of a necessary evil, but not to give up, not to quit, not to think that there isn't a role for us in this industry.
Let me speak. Yeah, well, absolutely. And, kind of jumping to Amy Banner, all of you have been and are currently, but have been on the front lines on the blacktop, in dealerships. Amy, but you're currently on the front lines, and Christy just mentioned her motive and her passion for wanting to see this happen. But as somebody who is, a salesperson currently in a dealership, you're going to be talking at the Women in Automotive Conference about opportunities for women. But what is the biggest thing, women that are not only, because there's probably not women listening that want to get into this industry, they're already in this industry, but maybe some are thinking about getting out of the industry, or maybe they don't see the opportunity that really you feel and others are experiencing that are there for women. Talk to the women that are listening now about your experience in the auto industry, and what they should know. Maybe the biggest thing they should know.
As far as being on the front lines, I mean, dealing with the customers. Like, I was talking this morning, getting ready for my Women in Automotive Conference with some amazing women out there, and you kind of just reiterate how important it is. Just remembering that this is a people industry, and so us as women out there working in this industry, I think we have such a strong advantage, but we don't always take advantage of that advantage, if that makes sense. I think that we have an advantage because the customers relate to us. I think that we have an advantage there, especially since the buying power is with women. Why sometimes I like the fact that we're all getting together, and if somebody out there is even considering thinking about going to this event, do it. Figure out how, quit drinking sodas for a month to pay for it. It's not that expensive when you think of the return on investment for this, because I went last year kind of going down just like, hey, I want to meet some people, and it was one of the most pivotal things I've ever done in the 7 years I've been in this industry. So I think that anybody out there that's considering it, that's in the industry right now, or maybe thinking of joining this industry, just get to Orlando, come listen to all these amazing, amazing women, because we do have a huge advantage. We do, and unfortunately we don't capitalize on that as much as we should.
That's awesome. Hey, so Subi, let me ask you this now. I don't know if you had ever heard that from Amy, but she said that it was literally something that was pivotal. Like that changed. That's a turning point in her career. 7 years of doing everything. What is the most important message you guys want people to hear about this year's Women in Automotive Conference?
I think there are two main things that come to mind. One being we've never really run a conference before from start to finish. So there was a lot that we kind of put into the first one that we put a lot of surveys out and wanted to get our feedback, and we've incorporated that into this one. So I know that I'm really close to it, so I'm naturally inclined to say it's going to be bigger and better. But I genuinely feel this is going to be bigger and better than last year. We've taken a lot of feedback. We've gotten, learned from last year and put in new things this year. We have awards. We have this inspiration award to highlight someone who came last year, implemented something, and really saw a positive result. So we have all sorts of interesting new features. But the secondary thing is that we are for everyone. We didn't design this to be for one specific area. We kept it broad for a reason because it's an underserved population. So if we try to really limit that, I think we'd be hurting the momentum of the movement that I think we've started. We're not.
I think we lost.
I think Subi, your audio.
Can everybody else on the phone still hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Amy.
Yeah, Subi. Hey, Subi, can you hear us?
Subi, we lost you. It looks like you're saying.
Let's cut to Joni really quick. I'm going to ask Joni this if we can get Subi back. I don't think Subi knew we lost her because she was still talking. So
I think she still is.
she was. Yeah, she's still talking.
She is.
Joni, we had someone tweet in, and a question I have for you kind of goes hand in hand with. I think it was Kevin Campbell. He's the e-commerce director for Sandy Sansing Automotive. I think they have like 5 or 6 stores in the Alabama and Florida, just the southern panhandle area. And so the question he asked, or maybe a statement that he'd be interested in hearing, he said that some dealers have issue or maybe are apprehensive, I should say, in really going after women due to some HR issues, things of that nature. Now, that goes along with your question that I had for you, because I know last year, you talked about this at, I believe it, at a panel at NADA. One of the, requested topics was recruiting, retaining women for the workforce. And I'm sure that, this is one of the things that you guys have really hammered home. It's not just women hiring women, but it's really getting all the stereotypes changed, getting men to buy into the reasons. And so speak to Kevin, speak to some of the dealers that are listening right now that maybe really would love to shift gears and to change. And I think that's what you guys stand for, but speak to that.
Absolutely. I think one of the most important realities that people feel is rather painful, but we need to look at the culture that you have at your dealership. When someone states that they're nervous for HR issues to hire, a female or female employees, that speaks volumes about some real problems that they have at the store. So, we've talked and at NADA and said, if you closed your eyes and just really listened to the conversations and what happens at your dealership level, you might be kind of frightened right there. So everyone has to commit in a dealership setting to create a positive work environment, regardless of gender. It starts there with having a foundation that is maybe different than what are some of the old school ways. You can't just hire in a bunch of women and say now shake our hands, now we did that, and let's move forward. There needs to be a very clear pathway for success and mentoring. Employees need to understand not only their job and the responsibility of where they are today, but where they can actually go and grow to. Mm-hmm. Now, we know that less than, say, about 10% of the employees are female, and yet the majority are also in the clerical end of a dealership. So our disconnect is just overwhelming, since women are influencing the majority of all buying decisions, and yet we're so limited in our presence. So to just really recap it, you have to start with a commitment at your store level of respect, amongst all, with a clear pathway of productivity to move forward.
Let me ask just a caveat, a question is kind of piggybacking. This wasn't something I planned on asking, but just a question. And I agree, by the way, Joni, and that it's about culture. Obviously, that's what we're going to speak about. And I've been around dealerships for a long time, and I understand why the culture needs to change. So I agree with you, and I think that's probably the majority of the problem with those dealers. But let me ask this: are there? And this might be a different question or a unique question, but are there also possibly women, maybe just like there's men, that maybe we need to, as dealers, need to steer away from? In other words, if they're going to hire a woman, they hire the wrong women. You understand what I'm saying? Because of maybe their thinking is off as a dealer, they're looking for the negative stereotype even in a woman. Does that make sense? I mean, because I know women, they guard one another, but at the same time, they're the first ones to out one another if there's wrong motives there as well. You guys are professional. So is there also the flip side possibly where there are women as well that possibly, I know you can't discriminate. So, but are there just, maybe do we need to look for just the person that's professional? Does that make sense?
Oh, it does. It does. I mean, we need a work ethic. We need to stop just looking at things such as appearance and look at more of what is history, reliability, the willingness to grow. And again, these are qualities regardless of gender. And I don't like to stereotype, but something that really, was kind of frightening at NADA, we had several people in the audience that were in dealerships, and they more or less said, you just have to put up with the fact that, you're going to be discriminated against. And it was really sad to hear that, as if it was resigned to. And I don't agree with that. I think that we need to be able to really sit down in black and white and determine what are the characteristics of a leader. And those are the qualities we look for, and not just someone that may look nice on our showroom floor.
That's good.
We're going to...
Go ahead.
It's a culture thing. It's not about male or female. It's just when you're hiring, you've got to start with the right skill set and with the right people. It's not a male female issue.
Yeah, I agree with you, Subi. It's well said. It's but if we don't know, or if we don't want to know, and I don't think it's an ignorance thing as much as it is sometimes, we just don't care to change as decision makers that are in charge of hiring. And so we hire maybe on what we think is talent as a surface level, and we don't look at the character. We don't look at, and I'm talking male or female, but I think if they really want to see growth, that's not going to make it in 2016 and beyond in any industry, in the car business as well. So I think that if you're serious about growing your dealership and changing and shifting and getting a share of business that maybe you haven't received, I think that this is a great conference to attend, because it's going to open your eyes to a correct way to increase business and maybe add to a whole, and add to a whole element and dynamic that you're really not appealing to. Let me ask this question for Jody. Jody, I know that you've been, championing this cause, women in automotive, for a long time, and you're incredible. I love reading everything that you write and things that you're part of, and there's a lot of feedback in constructing the agenda this year, asking speakers to return and whatnot. What are the most exciting changes, Jody, in your opinion, maybe additions to this year's show?
Again, to reflect back on what Subi said, we actually met in December as a group the board, with all the feedback that we received from last year, we were really listening. And so some of the things that are going to happen this year are there will be more time for networking. Women want to connect, and actually everyone wanted to connect more, and so we're providing a lot more networking opportunities. Two, we have been in preliminary stages of rolling out a mentoring program, and you will see that theme woven throughout the conference. PDK has stepped up big time to help sponsor those efforts. And Kathy Gilbert, who couldn't be on the call today, has definitely done a fantastic job. We've been holding mentoring calls for several months now, and the official launch will happen. We also have 4 tracks rather than 3. We have a track, which this is what dealers really need to hear, that's dedicated just to you. And it's not for the women. This conference is for the guys. And for the girls. And so we would like to see a lot more men attend, and the dealership strategies revolve around employment, recruiting, hiring, training, marketing to women, developing really good. We have some excellent speakers from Twitter, from Google. One of our keynote speakers is the head of talent acquisition for General Motors. We have some very exciting topics that reflect back what our audience really needs to hear. I also want to go back and address one question, because it really disturbs me when I hear this question that dealerships have this fear in the HR department. I want to call out every dealer and say, I've been hearing that excuse for 10 years, and that's baloney. That is an excuse to not hire women. If you're afraid to hire women because you're going to get in a lawsuit, then you need to take a look. In some ways, and I'm saying this jokingly, that the auto industry is one of the last bastions that men can call themselves men and they want to keep women out. And if that's how you feel, then just say it like it is. But don't make that excuse that it's an HR nightmare. That is your responsibility. There are many companies in the country who hire on par with women and deal with the problem. So deal with it, dealer. Get over yourself.
That's a good word. Hey,
Amen.
Amen, indeed. Is Lisa Copeland with us? Lisa, you here? You're on the phone, right?
I am here.
How are you?
I'm good. I was just retweeting Jody DeVere. Like, you go, girl. I could not have said it better.
Well, hey, as you're tweeting, let's answer this, because your keynote last year killed it. Everyone loved it. And I guess you're going to be doing the keynote again this year,
She's
correct?
opening, yeah.
You're opening, right?
I am. I'm opening the conference. I can't wait, and I'm so honored. Last year I got to close the conference, and this year I was invited to open it. So I don't know if that meant I did well or didn't do well. I'm not sure. But
I think it's probably that you did well, I would guess, because they said, we shouldn't have kept her to the last. We need to get her right up front and just set the tone for the whole conference. That's my thought.
I should get this party started.
Exactly.
I'm so excited. Yes.
Awesome.
But I'm telling you, Jody nailed it. Just what she just said, she nailed it. And I think that's a lot of what this conference is about, is empowering women in the automotive industry, and even ones that maybe have never been in the industry but are interested in the industry. They're watching, and they're watching us, and they're and they're seeing what are the leaders in the automotive industry doing, the women leaders, to be more inclusive and to help the ones who are the younger ones and the ones that maybe potentially want to come into the industry. And that's what every one of us is committed to do.
So your topic is it's crushing mediocrity and redefining your career. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, so yes, that is my topic. But really, I think the thing that I was talking to Jody earlier today on the phone, and as we were outlining some of the things that we're going to talk about at the conference, I think that women have got to be able to fear less, be less fearful, and not necessarily be fearless, but to fear less. And I really think I'm going to go down that road, and I'm going to talk about the last year that I went through making a transition. And, I think all transition is good, and I think that there's a lot of opportunities in this industry. And, whether you're on the dealership side, which I spent many years, and now sitting on the other side, more of a consulting side, there are just so many opportunities, and what I want to encourage women to do is to live their destiny in the automotive industry, whatever that looks like. I mean, your destiny might be that you want to be a mechanic or a technician, or you want to be a porter, or you want to be a general manager, or you want to start your own consulting firm. Whatever that looks like, that's my job when we open that conference, to encourage women to do everything they can do and to be fearless in the automotive space.
Awesome.
Well said. And you know what's cool, Lisa, you know, because, I mean, guys and gals are different still. Like I like to play with like cars when I was little, and you said something that got my attention as a guy. You said crushing it. You know what I mean? Guys like to crush stuff. So if they're listening right now, right, crush, that's like a guy title too, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I love about this, man. It's not like pink flowers and this and that. Screw that stuff. You guys are like crush mediocrity. You know what? Redefine your career. That appeals to everyone. I don't care what gender you are, right? You want to win. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Anybody who's ever worked with me in the last 5 years, our whole mantra was to be number one, to crush sales records, to crush mediocrity, and have a hell of a good time doing it. Mm-hmm. And so, absolutely. I mean, I don't think that that's gender specific, wanting to win and wanting to be excellent. I think that that's automotive people in general. Like, we love to win, which is why we do what we do every single day.
That's awesome. I mean, I know that a client, a friend of mine, you guys, John Marazzi, for instance, I think he's going to be back, but he brought a bunch of his people from the Morgan Automotive Group, and you know, John. I mean, if you're listening as a dealer, John just took over Sun Toyota for the Morgan Auto Group as well. They just bought the store. They did 700 cars there last month. I mean, they're crushing it. And you know, John sees the need for this. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys, you know, I need to call John. If not, has John already got on board? You guys know that yet?
I'm not sure.
Has John Marazzi already got on board at Brandon Honda and Sun Toyota back on board yet?
I'm not sure. Better be now that we're calling him out.
Well, I got to get John on board. But I mean, John came last year. He had a whole table, so I'm sure he'll be back. And I just talked to him today. But I mean, this is a very, very important conference, an important thing for dealers to pay attention to, because and I want to kind of jump to some general thoughts and kind of get you guys to weigh in on this as well. I mean, how does someone, okay, they're sitting here now listening to all of you, and they're pumped up, okay, male, female, they're going, I want to go, I want to be here. And by the way, I've gone to a lot of conferences, and I know this is the first conference. A lot of times, you know, people have difficulties getting something off the ground. It takes a lot longer. You guys I was blown away by how many people you had attend this conference last year. I mean, it was packed. I mean, there were I legitimately close to probably 500 people, if not more, that I know there. And I don't know, I'm pretty good at judging a room, and I was blown away by it. And so I can only imagine. But how does someone convince their boss? And I'll let whoever wants to jump in on this to go. I mean, right now, you know, there's all these conferences. Where do I go? I can't go everywhere. Their boss begins to put limits on them, but this is something they need to attend. It's different. It's unique. How do they do it?
Well, I could maybe speak for that, being as it's not sitting in a boss position right now as a salesperson.
Okay.
I necessarily didn't ask. I just took the time off and did it.
She's like, I balled all year round, and then when I needed some time off, I just took it. That's what I did. Thank you.
Amy Banner, I'm about to tweet you, sister.
I love you, Lisa.
That's awesome.
That's it. That's you know what? Hey, that's
it.
what
I'm out of here
about.
too.
Yeah, see you, Tommy. Well, Tommy, you don't work that hard, man. You don't work as hard as Amy. Come on.
That's a fair point. Okay, sorry.
Amy works hard.
What always worked for me was like presenting. I didn't ask for all the conferences. I picked the ones that I wanted to go to, but really presenting it in such a way that says, listen, the best version of me is going to be one that is educated and informed and knowing what I need to do to make myself better for you. That's the best way. That's the way that I'm going to help you grow your business. If you want more sales, I need to know how to do it. And this is a great opportunity to do that, because we're not just talking about, you know, female-centered topics. We're talking about topics that reach across every kind of role within the dealership, and it doesn't stop with women. We had quite a few men there, and we hope to have more this year, but I would just present it that way. Look at the topics, look at the people speaking and the quality of topics. It's incredible. Present that to your boss, and
staying on that, just
not as expensive as the other ones either.
No, and staying on that just for a second too, and I'll let Joni and Jody and Lisa and Christine, whoever, comment on this as well. But as an owner, think about this for a second, and I can see this playing out. You ladies probably would agree that somebody, a male who owns a dealership or manager that's forward thinking, has embraced this movement, brought somebody in, and then in the interview hiring process begin to lay out a vision. Hey, I'm supporting you in this. I want to see this grow, and then but they don't know how. Okay, so let's just face it, right? A lot of times what paralyzes us is, and procrastination is caused from not knowing how. What do I do next? So just things are kind of just going along, right? So this would be a great opportunity for maybe that woman to go and remind their boss, hey, remember when you hired me and you said, that this is where we were headed? This would work on me. Remember when you said that? Yeah. Well, this would, I want to help you fulfill that commitment. Because, I think that would, somebody who's doing it for the right reason and really looking to better their dealership, I think that would appeal to them because it gives them help. A lot of times we don't know how, maybe, so then we don't do anything. Does that make sense? And I'll throw that to Christy or Joni or Jody.
No, go ahead, Christy.
I was going to say absolutely. I mean, we're talking about women, but the reality is this is a problem with young people too. At NADA, the panel presented 71% of college graduates don't have jobs, and none of them are walking into any of the dealerships that I go to. Mm-hmm. So cultural change and being able to make shifts. This is kind of our way of forcing the issue, I guess, for lack of a better term. I know from talking to dealers, it's a scary thing to try to figure out how to change things. If you've done things so long a certain way, it's a scary thing. And yeah, you might lose or you might feel like you're going to take some steps backwards to go forward. But I believe that if you build it, they will come. And in this scenario, cultural changes are only going to have long-term benefits for this industry, 100%.
Well said.
I was going to say we have to start.
I would like to chime in on this.
Yes, ma'am.
Just say that the NADA does a workforce study every year. And one of the most disturbing pieces of information that came out of the study in 2015 is that of women sales people who are hired at the dealership in 2015, there was a 90% turnover rate. 90%. So what does that speak to? What that speaks to is that you're right. Either they don't know what to do with them once they hire them, or they're not investing in training and support for those women, or their culture is just so horrifying. And so what we're saying is that is very costly for a dealership to have such a high turnover rate with women in sales. And by the way, we all know, about other roles in the dealership and in leadership. And so what we're saying is, if you make the investment, you're going to have ROI, return on investment. You're going to lower your turnover rate with the women that you do hire and want to reach. And so I think that's, this is based on facts. This isn't, just let's make them feel good kind of stuff. This is, really help them make more money.
And it's costing, you just spoke to so many owners, and we, Jody, it's costing so much money. Turnover it's not only are you not increasing, a lot of times we just look at it from the increase, and not only are you not on the obvious side increasing because they're not there, but the money you're spending and the effort that you're taking and the training and all the resources involved in that is costing you a fortune, just simply because you think it stops with the hiring, and it doesn't. And I'm telling you, it's a disease. It's ignorance, and we have to fix that. We have to educate ourselves. Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. So even knowing that you have to move this direction and is not enough, but coming to a conference like you guys are doing is I think a way to put knowledge behind it. We've got to wrap it up. So what I want to do though is give each of you guys a couple of minutes here to just give us your closing thoughts. Maybe why should someone attend? What are you most excited to see this year? What's just those types of things, and then leave us with your closing thoughts. And we'll start with Joni Stuker, and then we'll go to Lisa. And Joni, give us your closing remarks.
Okay, thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity. I have a lot of years in this business and have been to so many different conferences, and this is nothing more than just an honest input. I'm telling you, the first conference just blew me away, and I feel that it's imperative that those that are listening to us and knowing other individuals that are in our industry or joining, that they really become a part of it. I know as a female in a very male-dominated industry that I've gone into conferences and you just kind of feel a little bit out of out of place, just a little. And I'm telling you, this one made you feel like you were a team, and we need to embrace it, and we need to move forward. I think it's a great saying. There's, in every difficult situation, there is potential value. And it's just time for us to stop ignoring it and accepting the fact that we are really disconnected, and let's start working towards that perfection. So I hope to see everyone there.
Awesome. Lisa Copeland, we'll go to you.
Okay. I want to encourage people, just like what Amy said, sometimes you just have to ask for forgiveness versus permission. I think I've built an entire career on it. It's like, just do it. I mean, if you are committed to going to the next level in the automotive industry and you want to meet the top women in the industry who will encourage you, help you, and mentor you, this is your conference. So to me, it's no excuses. If you're committed to the industry, if you want to go to the next level, you're going to ask for forgiveness, you're going to show up, you're going to sell something to get there, whatever it takes, but I promise you, it'll take your career to the next level, and you will meet friends like I did last year, and some of them are on this call that'll probably be friends the rest of your life. And I just want to encourage everybody to get there. I promise you, we're going to have a lot of fun.
Outstanding.
She makes me want to go. I'm going to.
Come on.
You are going.
I'm going, so good job, Lise. All right.
Welcome, darling.
Let's go to Amy. And Amy, I'm sorry, your last name is Banner. I had to make a Bruce Banner whole connection. I'm sorry.
And that is.
That's not. It's nothing to do with nothing.
There's the man part of the show. There, Incredible Hulk reference.
There you go. See, okay.
Was that the rapper or the Incredible?
No,
Hulk?
that David Banner. We discussed this
Banner.
earlier. David Banner's the rapper. Bruce Banner's the Hulk.
Yeah, Bruce Banner's the Hulk, the big green guy.
Yes, exactly. So
well, Bruce Banner was when he was a weak, and
Bruce Banner was when he was a scientist.
Yeah, but he got beat up every time.
He got beat up till he got him mad. Don't get Amy mad. She's the same way. Amy, so give us your final thoughts. Tell people they can contact you if they're looking for a car. Now, where's your dealership, by the way? When you Core One Automotive, where's that?
Fargo, North Dakota. So I'm out of the big city loops, but Fargo's beautiful, and I will gladly help anybody who has questions about cars. Reach me online, just a girl selling cars. You can find me. It's pretty easy. But as far as this conference goes, anybody listening to this right now who's either considering, I don't even really think that, obviously it pertains to automotive, but if you're a female in any male-dominated industry, which there are still a lot of them out there, check out this conference. This conference will instill, even if you're self-confident, it's going to instill like a camaraderie, and you're going to meet some people that you don't even know that those kind of people sometimes exist. If you're the kind of person that you sometimes feel like, okay, I excel at things, but people around me sometimes just aren't always like understanding my passion for this. Go to this industry, connect with some women who are excelling in this, and you'll make friends for life, and you'll have contacts, and you will have a new drive to just better yourself in the industry, but just better yourself in general. And when you better yourself in general, everything about the industry is going to be better. And I'm a huge advocate for this, women in automotive. I just think it's an amazing thing.
I can't resist another thing, but I want to call out all women. I agree with Amy. Like any
she
women,
reminds me of Laura Madison. You get that a little bit with?
Yeah, she was just powerful.
That's
strong,
what I'm saying. That same
Absolutely.
kind of attitude.
Yeah. Something. But speaking to women that are in male-dominated industries, all female NFL and NBA players. I think they should all attend, right?
Absolutely.
Who needs to attend?
NFL, NBA. All women that are in the NFL, in the NBA. I'm trying to be funny. It wasn't funny. You know what? I failed miserably. You're the funny guy. I should let you just keep it.
No, you're funny.
So
too.
moving
You
along.
I missed it.
How did no one get that? That's not funny?
Nope.
I thought it was funny.
One female rep in the NFL. We'll reach out to her.
Yes.
There you
Yes. Take over. I'm going to go to Subi. Subi Ghosh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just so proud to be a part of this. But even as we put everything together, we knew what was going to happen, when it was going to happen. But I walked into our very first cocktail party last year, and there was this, I can't even describe the feeling. And it wasn't just me. I was talking to a bunch of people that had the same. That sense of camaraderie is so important. And I think that's why the concept has resonated so well. It's not about being best friends. This isn't for any specific group. It's for everyone. It's for male, female, no matter where you are in your dealership, what role you play, or even if you're a vendor, it doesn't matter. The topics that we talk about resonate throughout, and I left inspired. I left knowing that there were things about me or the way that I did things that I could better, and I think that's what it comes down to. And the reality is, if you can't get there, and there's all sorts of reasons why, still follow along. There's going to be a lot of great information passed, so follow us at hashtag Women in Automotive or Women in Auto 16 when the actual event happens, and reach out to us. Our mentoring program isn't just for people that can make it to the event. And then also take a look at what we have to offer on our website at womeninautomotive.com. It describes what we do, what we stand for, and this whole mission, this movement that we're trying to start, like Christy said, to force the conversation. So I really look forward to seeing you guys all at the end of the month.
Absolutely. Jody, we're going to go to you, and then we'll end with Christy.
Well, you know, I was reflecting on what Amy said, to, you know, that she's encouraging women to go to their general manager or the principal and ask them to support them. I say go to your general manager, your dealer principal, and the other managers and invite them to come with you. Because honestly, the reason we want to get the men there is one of the complaints we had last year is that the women said the men need to hear this. We know this. And so I encourage everyone to look at the agenda and the kind of really, we took a lot of time to plan out what types of education and you know, what kind of information will be provided. And it is rich, and it will really help the dealership make more money. Isn't that what they want to hear? I'm telling you, if you could grasp a few of these concepts and take them back and really embed them in your culture, you will make more money. So please, I invite you to look at the agenda and the session content. I think you'll be very excited to not only send your women, but to come yourself.
Well said.
And
I agree with you on that, Jody. That's a great point. The content is rich, and it'll help you make more money. And so I think it's a smart business decision, and that's the number one reason someone.
Jody, how can people reach out to you if they want to reach out to you directly?
Me, Jody DeVere. You can reach me at Ask Patty on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram, or jdevere at AskPatty.com.
Perfect.
And for the Women in Automotive Conference, directly, jdevere at womeninautomotive.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Jody. And then we're going to go to Christy. Christy, again, great panel, great conference, and give us your closing remarks, and then leave us with how women can go ahead and register today if they haven't already, or anyone.
Well, from my perspective, I think one of the neater things about this conference is that all our sponsors are there for the cause. This isn't like an event where people can really come and sell things. Our sponsors are there because they believe in what we're doing. And so to be able to put on a conference where you're really, truly focused on content, like we knew what we wanted our topics to be, and if we had a speaker that we could give a topic to and they would come back and give us and fulfill that topic, we preferred to do it that way rather than just letting people talk about what they do for a living. Not that that's not relevant, but this conference is about education, it's about inspiration, it's about networking, it's about trying to create a different environment for women, but also, like Jody said, this truly, if you do it, you will make more money. There's no way that you won't. There's no way that you won't. So when like Subi said, when we walked in, the chemistry, the energy, just the undeniable, like, wow, we're not alone in this, was probably one of the most awe-inspiring experiences. I mean, I know when we started, we hoped we'd get 200 people just so we could break even. The fact that we ended up having so many people come was just absolutely awesome. And so we did move it to a hotel this year, so we're going to play in the big leagues. It's a beautiful hotel outside of Disney. And we, if you want to register, womeninautomotive.com. We have registrations open now, and there are some promotional codes if you happen to get some. That goes all the way until the day before the conference shows up on the 26th.
Absolutely. Outstanding. Well, we're very excited, and thank you, ladies, for being with us. We look forward to seeing you guys in just a few short weeks, and hopefully we helped out a little bit, and it's a great cause, great conference.
Thank you.
Highly recommended, and we're excited to be there.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, ladies.
Well, that's what it's all about right there, my friend. Hey, one more time before we're going to go really quick. We're over on time, but you know what? I think you guys are all listening, and I think you could appreciate it. But we are going to go to the Next Up, which is Ram on Fire. But before we do, I'll give out the website one more time for the Next Up promotion. It is thenextup.com, thenextup.com/WIA. If you missed early on and you want to know now, then either yourself or a friend nominate. Go on, get somebody on there, tell their story about a woman who's rocking in the automotive, and then the Next Up is going to pay all expenses, airfare, hotel, the whole deal for women in automotive. So,
Pretty
boom
snazzy.
shakalaka. Yeah.
Pretty snazzy.
The Next Up, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Your Ram
on fire.
The fire starter.
I'm on fire.
Are you ready
We'll be
for the
right
fire
back.
starter?
We'll be right back.
I'm Alan Ram, president and founder of Alan Ram's Proactive Training Solutions, and here's what's got me fired up today. The answer I get to this question most of the time. What is your goal on a sales call? Think about that for a second. What's your answer? Every time I ask a group, whether it be dealers or salespeople, what the goal of a call is, they tell me it's to set an appointment. No, it's not. Let me give you two scenarios. Here's scenario A. You take a sales call. Everything goes great. You get their name, you get their number, and yes, the caller sets an appointment. You hear a dog barking in the background and you start talking to the caller about their dog. Now you've got some golden doodle rapport. Unfortunately, that appointment does not show up. Here's scenario B. Someone calls and you get their name and number. That's no problem. You again use the highly effective technique that I call asking them for it, that works just about every time. This customer will not set up an appointment no matter how hard you try. They just won't commit. But later on that evening, they come in and they buy. Which would you rather have? And that's not a trick question. Clearly, scenario B, right? But they didn't have an appointment. So what? Therefore, the goal of a sales call is not to set an appointment, but to have someone actually show up at your dealership. There's a big difference between setting up appointments and having people actually arrive. I've had plenty of salespeople come up to me excited at a dealership and tell me that they just used one of my word tracks on a customer on the phone and it worked great. My question is always, did the caller show up yet? If not, nothing has worked great yet. Not until they show. Now, I'm not telling you not to set up appointments, so relax. Of course you want to set up appointments, but the way you judge if you're any good on the phones and if your appointments are any good is if the callers actually end up showing up at your dealership. Let's face it, no one comes into your dealership because you got their name and phone number. Hey honey, that salesperson at Friendly Kia just got our phone number. Let's get down there. By the same token, no one comes into your dealership simply because you set up an appointment. They come in because of everything else you say. They come in because of your messaging. What reasons are you giving customers to come to your dealership, and more than that, come see you? If you can't answer that question, you need to figure it out. Most telephone training in the automotive industry simply consists of get their name, get their phone number, smile, because a smile can be heard over the phone, which is true by the way, and set up an appointment they probably won't show up for. To get people to actually show up, you have to give them reasons to want to. You need to step up your game. Next time someone asks you what your goal on a sales call is, It's to get someone to actually show up. It's not about setting up weak appointments. It's about phone-ups that show up. If you want to learn how we can help you get people walking through your front door better, faster, and smarter, please call us at 866-996-4665. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest.
Hey, we're back, and what are you doing, Tommy? What the heck are you? I've been dying to use this. Good show, huh? All right, so that was Ram on Fire. Hey, we're running over, but listen, we wanted to come back. What an amazing... Next week, the next up is Wookiees in the automotive. Wookiees in automotive, right?
Wookiees in automotive.
Now, seriously, hey, before we go, I want to thank you guys for listening. We have a couple of great shows coming up here. We've got the Great American Automotive Panel.
North American.
I think it's North America because we have a couple Canadian dealers.
Well, we actually have a couple of North and a couple in the States. So this is what that panel is. It's a group of general managers and or dealer principals that get on the show and talk about automotive. It's incredible. It's one of our favorite panels. And that's the next up on Auto Dealer Live. But hey, right now, we're back. And Tommy, here's the thing, man. We aired the original show last week, and this is episode 2 that we're airing. It airs and is housed on the Autotainmentnetwork.com. We had great reviews. Hey, stay tuned. It's only 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Ezra? Like 5 minutes?
It's a little bit longer this week.
A little bit longer this week, but this is actually a deal closing on air. This is a real deal. This is something that happened. I'll set it up really quick. I was getting my hair cut. Is that the episode? Yes. Getting my hair cut one morning about 8 o'clock here in my office, and I had the cape on and so forth. My assistant's in there. I was drinking coffee, had getting my hair cut. My assistant was in there, and then handling something with production manager. Overheard a dealer call in, literally like at 8:30. Sales team was just arriving, and he was interested in doing something. And I didn't feel the deal was going the right way, so I ripped my cape off. Didn't even have my glasses on. My hair was 1/3 cut.
Yeah.
So if my hair looks jacked up because it was 1/3 cut, and I closed the deal. That's the boiler room. This is the episode 2, Tommy.
The second
edition. And we'll see you next week.
God bless you. Good
next
night.
week.
Stay tuned for Boiler Room.
Check it out. With the boiler room day. Come on! Hey guys, this is Dave Villa, CEO of IPD. Here's the deal. This sales flicks of the boiler room is off the chain. This just happened this morning. This is literally being posted, and it just happened. I have a haircut now, man. You can get it. See, I got my haircut. I'm finished now. I have my glasses on, but I was in my office getting my haircut this morning. My assistant is in here, and we're talking. A dealer called in this morning off of an advertisement before some of our salespeople even got here. So it was first thing this morning. Chris, the VP of sales, jumps onto a demo. One of my guys take a TO. We have a 100% TO policy. And then I'm sitting here and I barge into the call. This phone was on speaker. I'm sitting in a chair getting my hair cut. My assistant's sitting right there. My production manager's in my office and she's asking me questions on jobs. I'm multitasking. I'm listening to a call and I hear the call. The guy calls in and says, I want to do a sale. I hear the call possibly not being closed today. There's no reason for that. When somebody says, I want to do a sale, when somebody says, hey, I know we have to get moving, when somebody says the words, I'm going to give this a shot, they're done. Okay? So what you're about to see, my glasses aren't on. I have a half of a haircut, maybe a third of a haircut, because I got up, took the cape off, barged into the call, took it over, and then Ezra runs over with the camera. We didn't even catch the beginning of that. But what you're about to see, and this guy ends up signing up with a deal. Hey, that's how you do it. That's the boiler room right there. Hope you enjoy this sales flicks. You say, I'm going to give this a shot. Okay, I like this, and we need to get moving. I will get. Here's what I'm going to ask you, man, because I know you're in the car. Okay, and I know you're driving. I don't need any details.
I don't need any money. I don't need a check. I don't need to go over a proof. I don't need to do any of this stuff. All I need is you to say yes and commit to it. Here's what I'll do for you. I'll make this such a no-brainer, but I can't do it tomorrow because I would look like a fool by giving these out because it costs me money if I don't get something obviously in return as well. Because we want a deal, we want a partnership, but at the same time, we sent out 13,288 emails to general managers and dealer principals like yourself. We've gotten overwhelmed. Matter of fact, within the next hour, you're gonna get another email because we had about probably 400 people that opened it and watched the video that didn't respond. And we're gonna send a video out basically saying, hey, you know, did you not see this news? Because these are real numbers. I mean, these are real numbers. I text Jim Haith, the GM of South Point Hyundai, and say, hey, did you watch the video? He goes, dude, I love it. You have anybody call me on my cell phone and I'll back your story up because it's the real deal. And so here's my question, man. If I can make this a no-brainer and I'll send you an electronic signature that'll come to your phone. You say, here it is, boom. You don't have to cut me a check. I'll give you 400, today only, 400 of these leads. I sell them for 15 bucks a piece. That's $6,000 in free leads. Now, the reason I can do that is real simple. I'm closing my month out. And to be very honest with you, I'm trying to fire my guys up. I'm trying to, you know, I'm sent that video out because we just had a sales meeting 5 minutes before that video was created that said, guys, these are the numbers that's going on right now. If you can't get a GM on the phone that spends money and you can't convince them to do a program when they're gonna spend money anyway to selling this type of car, you need to find something else to do. I'll be very honest with you. So I had that kind of sales meeting and I said, we're helping dealers all across the country. We're helping 300 dealers a month do this. And you know, we should be able to tell that story. So that's why we did that video, because it came out of that meeting. They said, hey, you know what? I wish people just saw this meeting that you just did, David. I said, you know what? That's a good point. Bring the camera out here, and I did the meeting again. I'm just saying, man, that's because I'm passionate. 20 years of owning this company, you could freaking put a revolver to my head and ask me, do I believe in this product? And you know, I may lie to live, but I'd be lying. I believe this with everything in me, brother. I'm gonna ask for a commitment on it, and I'll give you exclusivity, 100%. We'll cancel every appointment, okay? Because just like you called in this morning, we've had dealers call in for the last 2 days, email us, and I will cancel every appointment that's within a 30-mile radius of your dealership. We will not do business within a 30-mile radius of your dealership. 100% exclusivity, doesn't matter what make it is. I'll give you 400 leads, which is $6,000 in leads. I'll start them today. Even while you're not in there, I'll start them today, and we'll help sell a car before you even get back in the office. And we'll help you close out May. Whatever we don't get to on the 400 leads, we'll roll them into the beginning of June, and then we can set the dates up in 2 days or whatever days you want to set the dates up. We'll work on the proof. We've got tons of proofs that are working. We can send you the pieces at these stores I mentioned. I didn't even catch what kind. You're a Honda store, right? Honda. You know John Marazzi? Brandon Honda? Brandon Honda, John Marazzi is one of the guys I mentioned on the video. He owns Sun Toyota. They sell over 550 new and used. They're a mile away from our store. He's done this sale 11 or 12 times. He just put Sun Toyota, he's part of the Morgan Auto Group. He just took over Sun Toyota 2 months ago. Last month they did almost 700 cars. They literally have over 200 appointments in their Toyota store as well. John Marazzi at Brandon Honda, they're killing it. Causeway Honda did 48 cars last month. They're in Manhawkin, New Jersey. Now these are not just new. You know, we work with Honda stores all over. Thurston Honda did this program in California. They've been working with us for about 3 years. The last sale the Honda store did with this, they did their Toyota last month. The Honda store did about 45 cars. Their Toyota store did 63 last month. So this will work for you, man. I promise you this. You won't be disappointed by it. And you got my word that I will personally, after getting on the phone, I'll personally walk through and make sure this thing is gonna come off with no hitches at all. We commit to it, man. 100% exclusivity, 400 leads. If nothing else, you're going to sell an extra 10 or 12 cars with your eyes closed, just with these leads. We'll jump on them, and my guys will call them, and we'll help you and partner with you to help you between now and next Tuesday. Okay. Okay, perfect. What's your email? We're going to send you an agreement. Okay, so it'll be an agreement. There is no contract, and I heard that part too. And I got half a haircut right now. I'm not kidding you. Seriously, I had a cape on for the most of the time I was walking, but I'm walking around with half of a haircut. But here's the deal. It's an agreement. There's no contract. So then we give you exclusivity, period. If you don't like it, which you will, but if you don't like it and say, oh, you love it, and you say, hey, you know what, it worked for me, but I don't want to do it again for 6 months. That's your prerogative. You don't have to do it again ever. but we give you exclusivity until you look at us and tell us, I don't want to do it anymore. So you have a contract with us, we don't have a contract with you. So you will not have a contract. It'll be one agreement, just like you've signed with Mud Group, Aspen, J&L, or anybody else. I'll send it over, and then I'll have Steve put on there the 400 leads. What's your email address so I can make sure he gets it over to you? Okay. NMHonda.com. Perfect. And Steve's on the phone. He'll get. Hey, Mark, I appreciate it, man. I know you're driving. I know you're off today. If we can get this squared away, I promise you, man, it'll be worth it just with the leads. Let me ask you a question. Just owner to owner. You're the GM or the owner? Oh, okay. So. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Well, smart dealers. It's a smart dealer. So you're basically running the store. Well, here's what I'm asking you, man. Let me ask you just on a side note. You're off today. Would you enjoy your day off a little better if you would have happened to have a Cuban cigar in your mouth, or do you smoke cigars? Is your owners? All right. I just got a couple boxes. I was going to send you one, so just on me. But I'll get this over to you, and you'll have it in the next 20 minutes, and then we'll follow up. What's it? Perfect, Mark. Hey, can I get a number from you? I won't use it unless I won't wear you out. I promise you. (200-6527). Hey, Mark, I appreciate the time, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Alrighty, bye-bye. Boom. All right, good job, guys. Excellent. Teamwork. That's what we do. Teamwork makes the dream work. When's the board on the day?